this thing started up here. Right there. Get logged in.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining pretty hard, so we're trying to hide from all the noise in here. I think it'll work. Mine's percolating.
Mine's up. Let's got
Okay,
us.
we got it. We good. Y'all doing all right? We've got a story to tell y'all.
Man.
Let me get this going before we tell it. Got it. Well, no, it's still circling.
Mine's good.
There we go. Howdy, howdy. Y'all may have seen on Facebook, ended up getting the COVID.
Yep.
Last week was a mess. It started the 2 weekends ago. I guess Saturday I didn't feel bad. I just had this weird headache all day, and I took some stuff. It didn't really go away. Didn't think much about it. And then TJ gets sick Sunday.
Yep.
I was basically fine Sunday. Kind of looking back, now that I know what I know, like I did have some sort of body aches going on. Then Monday it hits me early in the morning, fever, chills, body ache, head's hurting, all this stuff. And I was like, oh God, this has got to be COVID.
Yep.
So I sent a message to TJ and John. TJ's like, I'm feeling like crap too.
Yeah.
So I go get tested. It is COVID. TJ goes and gets tested. It is COVID. So Bobby basically ran the shop last week. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
But the first of the week was rough.
It was.
And then the second part of the week wasn't that bad. We were just not wanting to give it to anybody, so we hung loose. But we back. That's why we wasn't here last week. I didn't want to make no big COVID video and all that, but we had it. It was okay, but the first day or two wasn't fun.
No.
We supposedly had the Omicron version.
Yeah.
And they say that with that one, you normally get it like 3 or so days after you're exposed to it. And we don't know if somebody came in here with it or what, but it's just weird.
We ain't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we back, but I'm not 100%. I still got.
I'm still coughing some, and like this morning I had a headache still, or something going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something, but. What a mess.
Yeah, I still got a few little aches and just don't have my energy back up. That's about it right now. So
it was wild. If you hadn't had it, you don't want it. But the first 2 days are rough, and then it kind of got better. But dang it,
the headache was the worst part for me.
Steve said, "What's up? Sitting under 8 inches of snow in Missouri, ready for turkey season." Man, we had. I guess in the last month we've had 2 snow things come through. One was pretty significant for us.
Yeah.
And the second one was more of a dusting or whatever. But I'm hoping it's done around here. I don't mind the yearly snow, but this time our power didn't go out. Usually it knocks the power out for a couple days and all this because we're not used to it here. But
we normally get ice more than we do the snow, so it's.
We got some questions.
We got some new inventory stuff that came in.
We got a bunch of G5 broadheads of all makes and models. I think we talked about in the last video, a bunch of bare bows. The primes are finally starting to ship.
Mm-hmm.
Those lighted nocks we showed y'all. We got a bunch of releases in. Victory just started finally shipping some of the stuff we ordered. They said by around mid-February. They were hoping to get most of that shipped, but we made a pretty big Victory order, which we hadn't done before.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be heavy in Black Eagle and Victory this year.
Yeah, speaking of those lighted nocks, Aaron got in. What was those lighted nocks you guys mentioned the other week? The 4KJT.
Yeah, and you can look back at our last live video, but they got them, they call them tropical. They flash. We got green ones. We got all different colors.
Mm-hmm.
But what we liked about them is they just got the switch on the side, or you got to use a knife, you got to wiggle them, you just literally take your finger and turn them off. So, if that's something y'all are, I mainly bought them just to sell in the shop, but if that's something y'all are interested in, I could put them on the website if people want to order them.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I guess, comment at some point, and if I need to do it, I'll do it. But I like them.
Mm-hmm.
The switch just makes it so easy. There's no bunch of crap. You just turn them off.
Jim gets in and says, "What's your favorite release?" I don't know if I've got an absolute favorite. I've got some that I like more than others. The True Ball Fang I really like, and B3 Hawk. I like those two.
I'm shooting the B3 King because I shot a little goose for so long, and it's sort of the B3 little goose. Um, Really, I hadn't had everything. If I was going to have to pick a brand, I used to like. I still don't not like True Ball. I still love True Ball, but I really like B3.
Mm-hmm.
Their handheld, their wrist straps, everything. Well, I've really enjoyed, but I'm shooting the King wrist strap right now.
Yeah. And I had the Goat from True Ball the other year.
It is a guitar in the corner. I need to put strings on it. Every now and then I'll get it out and jam.
But I wish he'd been a little bit more specific, handheld or wrist strap. But let's see. Bill gets in and says, "I don't have any shops near me. Could you give me a ballpark figure it would take to start a shop in my building?"
I'd say. I mean, it's just according to how deep you want to get. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's including. Is that just inventory, or are you talking about like stuff to work on bows? With about 10 grand, you could kind of get started. I mean, that'd be a couple bows, a little bit of inventory. You know, you'd be surprised how quick money adds up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between 10 and 20 grand would be optimal to start with, because if you got to buy the press and all that, you're gonna be more in that 20 range.
Yeah.
But with 10, you know, you could, you know, just an example, or you could even just get set up with like a distributor and order some like diamond bows and stuff or whatever. I don't know, but a lot of bow companies, when you go direct, they want you to order like between 10 and 20 grand up front, so that would maybe be out of the picture. But you know, you could, for 10 grand, you could get a couple middle of the road bows and, you know, a couple releases, a couple rests, a couple this, a couple that. So if you, I mean, feel free to call us.
Yeah.
And we can kind of guide you a little better if we know more information. But
yeah, if you're just wanting to work on stuff like tune bows and stuff, then, you know, pretty much vise, press, drawboard, and then just, you know, your standard tools that you would need. So you could probably, you know, if you just went that route, you could probably be somewhere in the 5 grand range,
yeah,
maybe.
If you don't want inventory, if you just want to work on them, yeah, you could probably 3 to 5 be pretty easy.
Let's see. Alan gets in and says, "What are things you guys find that makes you shaky while shooting? Any certain foods or drinks to avoid?"
I don't know. I mean, I used to, a long time ago, like when I shot the indoor league and all that, I'd be like, I ain't gonna drink no caffeine today. But I found out for me, I needed to just do my normal routine. Like if I drink a little bit of soft drink, just do that, because I wouldn't drink it and then I'd have a headache or whatever, and then it would just cause all this other stuff. But I mean, you don't want to go drink a bunch of monsters.
Yeah.
You know, but
like, I wouldn't drink a ton of coffee or anything like that before I went and shot. You know, I'd get you real jittery.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink a lot of monsters.
I'd say just do your normal routine for the most part. I mean, obviously caffeine is supposed to make you shaky, but also, like, I drink several Cokes a day, and if I just didn't drink them, it don't take long and my head's killing me and I'm all jacked up. So I don't need that to happen either. So
yeah.
But I don't know of anything else really.
I mean, well, you know, they got all the energy drink stuff out there now, so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just doing like 3D, then, you know, it's not gonna. I wouldn't drink a ton of it, but like one monster ain't gonna kill you or anything like that. On the shakiness part, it's just because you'd be walking it off. But if you're doing indoor, then yeah, you really don't want to drink it heavily in caffeine or anything like that and make you kind of jumpy. But
the Reaper said, I'm looking for arrow recommendation. V3X 29 at 72 pounds, 27.5-inch draw. Currently shooting cheap gold tip 400 spines. I would have to look at a chart, but those are very borderline underspined, if not definitely underspined.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a ton of. If you stayed in gold tip, they make plenty of good stuff. I'd probably go to a 340.
Yep.
We really deal a lot of Black Eagle you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted light or heavy or in the middle, it'd be kind of a question. But like just throwing something out there, you know, maybe like
A Spartan would
yeah,
go good
a
there.
Spartan and what they call a 350 would be good, middle of the road weight, a little bit smaller diameter,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Let's see. Vernon gets in and says, I noticed my air knock fits tighter on my flow orange string versus my solid black string. Is this normal?
Yeah, the fluorescent colors in the string material definitely run bigger strands than like just a normal black or a white or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to combat that, we could take out a couple strands, but you're going to lose. It's going to stretch more doing that. So it's like, what do you do? You know, if we notice it's a huge flow orange is probably the worst, and flow yellow. Sometimes we'll knock it down a size on the serving size, but sometimes, most of the time, you're at a weird spot where if you go down a serving size, it's too loose. If you stick to the normal like 21 thousandths, it's snug. So, but yeah, that is pretty much normal. The fluorescents run bigger than the other stuff, and flow orange, flow yellow is definitely the worst. And then behind, you know, flow green, electric blue, they're still bigger than some of your other colors, but not as bad.
The flow, well, they call it pink, but the flow pink is probably, you have to put it up there with the flow orange, is one of the world's worst for being a little bit oversized on the diameter.
Yep.
Let's see. Harold gets in and says, looking at getting a clarifier, specialty or Hamsky?
I don't have a ton of experience with a Hamsky.
I don't either.
I've just always shot specialty for, I guess, 20-ish years now, just because they were like the first. We've had some Hamskys come through. I think they're great. I just don't know as much about them as I do the specialty. We actually just ordered all the specialty Peeps, the hunter size ones, and the PX, what is it, PXL and the
PCX,
something like that. I
something
get them
like
mixed
that,
up now, but we got
PCS.
all that, verifiers, clarifiers on the wall. So, but I don't know enough about the Hamsky, or I hadn't shot it, I guess I should say, to say that which one's better, but I know they're make a quality Peep and everything. I just hadn't messed with it much.
And then there was the one that just come out, last week, called the Final Eye or something like that.
Yeah, I gotta look into that.
It's, from what I can understand, it's a whole kit, but you can actually, instead of changing like with the specialty or the Hamsky, you know, you take the aperture out, screw a new one in. This one, you actually rotate the Peep, and it's got an iris in it. So as, you know, you're in the woods or whatever, you could actually manually reach up there and make that Peep bigger or smaller depending on lighting. It comes with like tinted lenses you could put in it. You know, it's got the clarifiers and stuff, so it looks like a pretty well built system. I just don't know how much it is and don't know nothing about it except for the little video I watched on it from Lancaster.
Yeah, I've just seen it on Facebook, a little blurb, so we'll find out.
Dave says, what you guys taking to TAC this year? I mean, I'm assuming bow wise and stuff.
I'm gonna take TJ.
Yeah. If my inline 5 is here, I'll probably be taking it. If not, then I'll be running my black 5 from the last couple years just because it's ready to go.
Yeah, I ordered an inline 5 myself. Probably that with probably a fast eddy, Hamsky rest. Probably stick with my Renegade arrows.
Yeah, pretty much my Spartans.
What's the main differences between the species and the legit looking for a good budget bow? It's almost 50-50. We sell a ton of both of those. I don't know it's hard to give one an edge over the other. I mean, the species is nice because it's solo cam and you don't have to worry about two cams getting out of sync.
Yeah.
I will say that. But the legit, I don't know, it's hard to say. It'd be hard to pick one over the other.
It is. That would actually just come down to you shooting them side by side.
I think I can't talk, the legit's a hair faster, right?
Actually, I think it's the other way. I think the
Oh, is
species
it?
is a hair faster. I think I can't remember my spec right off the top of my head, but I think they're both around that 31-inch axle to axle. If I remember right, without having I don't have a book right here where I could tell you the spec on it, but
I mean,
feel wise, they both shoot about. They both to me they both feel the same.
yeah,
So
it's one of them you just have to shoot them both and see. But we just had some people looking at the two of them a minute ago, and it's the same thing. It's like, to me, it's a toss up.
yeah, it's one of them. Just need to shoot both of them side by side to see which one you like better. Because it's got both of them has the same exact accessories. If you get the package, but I mean it's both same sight, same biscuit, same quiver, everything. It's just, I mean, it's hard to say because they both shoot good. I'd shoot either one of them.
Yeah. The Reaper said, "What's our thoughts on the inline?" He thought the draw cycle was a little stiff. I'm pretty happy with them. Of all the bows we've shot so far this year, I'm happy with it. I'd put it up there at the top.
I remember it being a little bit stiffer on the front end
Yeah.
than the Black Series or the Nexus Series. So it is a little bit, does stack up a little bit heavier, but other than that, I mean, I kind of like it the way it does. I wish they would have put another limb stop on that top cam. I do wish they'd have done that instead of just having the one.
Yeah, I don't. Does anybody know the UltraView Hinge 2? What's updated on it? I seen something about it a while ago, but I hadn't researched yet.
Yeah, I hadn't either. And then the last question I got, Paul wants to know: are we getting a levitate in?
I doubt it. I thought about it, but it's such a high priced. I don't know what to call it, bow. I think it shoots good. We shot them, and PSEs came a long way with their carbon feel. No, not as like when they first 2016, that bow would jump out of your hand. But I really thought about it, but I don't know if anybody's happy about paying $1,900 for a carbon bow. So I don't know. I guess if we get enough calls or questions about it, we might consider it. But I don't know. Anybody watching? Have y'all shot the Levitate? Just curious to everybody's thoughts. Stuff like that scares me because you order a couple of them and then you have to sit on them forever, and then because of setup, if you went pretty high end, spot hog sights and Hampsky rest or whatever type thing, you'd easily have $2,500 in that thing.
Well, and what's weird is I really thought once Dudley started, because he was able to design this bow, I kind of figured the bows would have started selling a little bit more. We'd seen more interest around here because at one point, I mean, we had a lot of people coming in, with the Cameron Haynes bows to knock on stuff, and it kind of just fizzled out. It kind of surprised me a little bit.
I still really like PSE, but we hardly ever have anybody looking for one.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, I guess.
The Reaper said he was able to draw more weight with the V3X.
Dual moon micro adjustable on the hinge too.
I have to do a little bit more research on it.
But I just seen a little blurb on Facebook about it. I didn't do no research.
I think I seen the same. I didn't read it or anything, but I seen it. Trying to think, was anybody else releasing anything at Vegas? I know UltraView did. I could have swore I seen somebody was releasing something else, but I could have been wrong.
I don't know. I guess that'll get fired up. I think tonight, I had to look at the schedule. They do like a shoot with the pros thing for kids. I think then tomorrow night, everything should get rolling tomorrow. I don't know. I guess Bo Junkie or somebody's covering it.
I think Cam's covering it. I think.
Oh, they both probably there.
Probably. Did y'all watch any of the Lancaster Classic? And what did y'all think about that new target with the little 12 ring on her?
It's been interesting.
I thought the 12 ring was add a little bit more I guess you say pizzazz because it was something to go for, but a lot of people didn't really call it. The people I did see call it were they actually needed the points, and there was a lot of who was commentating, Greg White and somebody.
Steve Anderson.
One of them they got to talking about, if you called it, you had to go for it instead of just like somebody got up there and they kept hitting the button, turn that light red just to mess with the shooter on the stage next to them, playing a head game. And I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. You got a little bit of advantage, but I heard them talking about making it a 13 point and then making them actually, if you hit the button, you had to shoot for it. So
yeah,
I thought it made for interesting TV.
Adam, normally we do like a $50 upcharge if you want our strings on it, and to be honest, that is the one drawback of these packaged bare bows. The strings suck. They come with a rubber tubing Peep, which is good, but if you try to do one without rubber, the factory ones, they twist and flip and flop and stretch, and for average Joe just wanting to get into archery, we can deal with it, because it's got the rubber tubing, which I hate rubber tubing, but it just is what it is. We had talked about just everyone that come in, we put our strings on it, and they automatically mark up like $50. But then I don't know. You have I think some people wouldn't understand the difference and they'd go to buy it at the box store or whatever because they're $50 more. So we didn't go that route. But I've been telling people, a lot of people ask, and we just say for $50, we can do any color. It just takes a few days to get it done, but any color or anything you need, but. But yeah, we got over the COVID.
Yep.
That was a mess last week. And hopefully we can get y'all a couple videos going here in the next day or two. We might have a couple tricks up our sleeve. Stan the man is here.
What's up?
Stan, we had COVID. We didn't die. We're back.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Still can't taste nothing.
Nope. But
we got shoots are coming up finally.
Kiwi, if you're local, Kiwi Bowman's shooting next weekend. I'm pretty sure we're going to go on Sunday. Holler at us if you want to go. I don't know who will show up. There's like 20 people hollering that go, and that usually means 3 will show up. But
yeah.
And then you got to watch old Waddell. because he ain't going to shoot early.
No, he ain't.
You got to let the man get out of the bed, get the coffee, breakfast in the belly, round about lunchtime. Got to eat lunch, then we can go. But nah, holler at us if y'all want to go. To shoot us a message, and we'll be there. I figure we'll have to. Split up into a couple groups if that many people do show up. But we'll make something work.
Yep. Trying to think of what else is coming down the line. Kiwi next week.
Tab should be coming up.
Tab is the weekend after, I think. The 19th and 20th. Does that sound right?
Maybe.
I think that's Tab's week. R100's coming up pretty soon in Georgia. Everything's starting to kick off now. So.
For us, from like right now through, I'm gonna say late spring is our big time, and then when summer hits, everybody just quits having shoots. And it seems like, I'd still shoot, but you got to go early before it gets hot. You need to 6:45. But
it's weird because pretty much June hits, and it's after June it's like maybe one shoot, and then you've got Kiwi pretty much July, Kiwi August, and that's it. Deer season back around, and it's tack. Well, we got tack coming up in May, so that'll be fun.
PT got his darting modules in. He's coming to see us tomorrow.
All right.
Vanessa, when are we having a shoot at the shop? I don't know. Whenever you want to come put targets out. We'll probably wait till the spring-ish time and come up with something. Hopefully. It is raining like crazy. We got some weird weather here tonight. It's actually going to get warmer through the night. It's going to go from like in the 40s to the 60s tonight. This is weird.
Steve said he had the COVID 3 weeks ago. Still has the cough.
But yeah, Waddell, I mean, he likes to get on a little bit after lunch, get a little shiatsu massage, make sure the man's hydrated, plenty of water.
Yeah.
For the love of God. And then let him fire.
That's right.
Well, we had stuff to talk about, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't think of anything new and exciting, or
I'll get off here and go call Partain and apologize. But holler if you need us, and if you want to go shoot in the next few weekends, let us know, because we're going to do some shooting.
we're going to try to at least.
Yep. We'll see y'all.
See y'all.
Whoa.